Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I will be talking about Sanctuary of Domination, and I will explain how you can make some gold with this raid. So, as I'm sure you're aware, right now Sanctuary of Domination is the new raid that will be available in Faded difficulty for this week. And basically, each week it's a new raid. So last week was Castle on Nathria. Next week will be Sepulchre of the first one, and then it will go back to Castle Nathria. But this week, the only raid you can do in Faded difficulty is Sanctuary of Domination. So what's interesting is that during this week, you will be able to farm all the different BoEs from Sanctuary of Domination in Faded difficulty. Last week, I already covered Castle Nathria, and it has been really good. I've been able to get quite a lot of these different BoEs, and as you can see, I even sold one of the rings, mythic rings, for 750k gold, which is really good. And so this week, you will be able to farm all these different BoEs from Sanctuary of Domination. So, unfortunately, Sanctuary of Domination is probably the raid out of the 3 raids from Shadowlands that offers the less BoEs, and also a couple of them are BoEs that you will be able to get through other raids, but it's still a good way to make some gold, and so I will still encourage you to look into it, and if you have some time, to try to get a couple of these BoEs before the end of the week. So, as you can see, we have 2 BoEs per categories of armor. So for plate, we have the boots and the wrists. For mail, we have the belt and the legs. For leather, we have the wrist and the legs. And for cloth, we have the gloves and the belt. So, from Sanctuary of Domination, we have 4 different BoEs that are really unique in terms of the item and the fact that you cannot get it in any other raids. So by that I mean, for instance, the cloak. You will be able to get a BoE cloak from Castle Nathria and also from Sepulchre. Same, for instance, if you take the leather legs, you will be able to get one from the Sanctuary of Domination, but also from Sepulchre. So, of course, the BoEs that are going to be the most interesting are the ones that you won't be able to get in the 2 other raids. So for Sanctuary of Domination, we have the cloth belts, which is really good. We also have the mail belts and the mail legs. And after that, we also have the plate boots. So I would strongly recommend you to do it on one of these 3 categories of armors, and especially with a male armorer, so either like a shaman or hunter. That definitely will be good because you have 2 BoEs that you won't be able to get in any other raids. So all these different BoEs can be sold for quite a lot of gold. Right now, if I compare, for instance, with the different prices for the BoEs from Castle Nathria, it's going to be on average for mythic BoEs, probably like between 300k gold to like 1 million gold. For the 291, the heroic BoEs is probably going to be between like 90k gold to like 300, 400k gold. And then the rest is not super interesting, so I would definitely recommend you to do it either on heroic or on mythic difficulty. And keep in mind that if you have some BoEs with a socket or with some additional stats, you definitely can sell it for more. So just keep that in mind when you're posting it on the auction house. And of course, it's going to be definitely easier to sell these different BoEs on a high pop realm rather than a medium or low pop realm, but you can still make some sales. As you can see right now, I sold this ring for 750k gold, and I'm playing on a very low pop realm. So you can still manage to get some sales, but of course, it's going to be more profitable even if there is more competition on a high pop realm. So, in order to join one of these groups, all you want to do is go in raids, Shadowlands, and pre-made groups, and then you want to type BoE, and normally you will find a couple of groups that are already there. So, again, as I mentioned, I would recommend you to only focus on heroic or mythic groups. Right now there is only heroic, but definitely the best is to do it in mythic. And if you manage to find a group, what you can do then is to ask if people have communities. So as you can see, I have like a lot of different communities for BoE farming, and then people just like ask, is there any runs? And after that, you get invited, and it's way easier after that to find a group and to farm all these different BoEs. So as soon as you are invited into a group, just ask if they have a community and to invite you, and then like that you will be able to find other groups later on way more easily. So that's my main recommendation. And of course I will again share the link of the one I created in the description so you can join it directly. So when it comes to the farm, for this raid, apparently you will not be able to really get any drops from all the trash around the first boss. It apparently has been changed, so I will not recommend you to farm all these different trash. What you want to do is find a group where the first boss has been killed, or you can also try to kill it yourself, and then you can form a group on your own. And after that, you want to take the portal and just enter the second room. So when you're here in the, as you can see, Shadow Steel Foundry, some people will just like do all the different trash from like this portal up to the second boss and then die, come back and reset and do it again. But some other groups will also have killed the second boss and will do all the different trash that are just located here up until the third boss and then die and then reset. So it's really up to you to see what you prefer to do. It's really also up to the group you found, but just know that these are two possibilities. So you can either farm all the trash from the first boss to the second boss, or the trash from the second boss to the third boss. But normally you won't be able to get any loot if you're doing it on all the different trash from the first boss. That's all I know for now. So I'm sure many of you are wondering if it's worth it or not. I would say that Sanctuary of Domination, again, is probably the least interesting raids in terms of BoEs from the 3 raids from Shadowlands, the best one being Castle Nathria. But I think it's still something you can do, especially if you're playing like a male, cloth, or plate wearer character. You can still get some BoEs. It can just take sometimes a little bit of time. So it's really up to you to see, first of all, if you want to invest a couple of hours trying to get some of these BoEs. If also your market is good or not at the moment, especially maybe wait 1 or 2 days, see if there is already a lot of these different BoEs. And if there's too much and too much competition, then maybe try to avoid doing it this week. But in my opinion, I think it's still something you can make some gold with, and you will still probably be able to get a couple of BoEs. So in my opinion, it's worth it. Just keep in mind that it can take some time and that sometimes the competition on your realm can be too high, and so the prices can kind of be, not too good. Of course, what you can also do is purchase some of the BoEs from Castle Nathria, because as I've explained, some of these BoEs are not going to be available for another 2 weeks, such as, for instance, the rings. And of course, there's going to have a higher demand and less availability on the auction house because again, people cannot farm them for the next 2 weeks. So if you find some cheap auctions, I would recommend you to, like, if you think it's worth it or not, invest in them. Like that, I'm sure you will be able to make some extra gold with all these different BoEs. So that's going to be pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you enjoy, and I really hope you will be able to make some gold with these different BoEs. Please keep in mind really that it's something that can take quite a lot of time, and sometimes, unfortunately, you can do multiple and multiple runs without having any BoEs. Like sometimes you can do like just 1 run and get 2 BoEs. So it's really just a matter of luck. If you want to try, I'm all in with you, but I can understand if this is not something you're interested in, and if you don't really want to spend some time farming for these BoEs. So I will be back very soon with more videos and with more guides, and in the meantime, I wish you all a great week. Bye!